Philosophically speaking, I'm Lisa. Today we lightly explore the pivotal implications of the past, present and future, touching upon the impact of disclosure. What does it mean when we speak of not just extraterrestrial life, covenants or advanced technology, but also the roles we may have played? How might these shifts alter personal, societal, planetary and interplanetary futures? Initial reaction, a deep impact. What happens if the reality of disclosure hits hard, affecting every level of our existence? Could we see responses ranging from shock to relief, from chaos to exuberance, or even trauma? If mayhem follows, especially for those who have been kept in the dark, how is a sense of autonomy maintained amid the upheaval? History reminds us that destructive energies have often obstructed progress, throwing off balance. Can such disruption be mitigated, preventing a repeat of itself? What becomes of constructs like money and commerce as they potentially lose their hold while new forms of communication emerge? For some, this might be a welcome change, long overdue, while for others, chaos looms. Does this response reflect historical patterns where only certain reactions seemed necessary to ward off further harm? Presented with the facts of existence extending further than what has been presented, will individuals handle this loss of what they once valued as their systems begin to erode under the weight of new realities? With possibilities of further chaos surfacing, revealing deep-rooted issues in the human heart, to what extent might actions be required to limit unnecessary and often habitual conduct? In examining humanity's reactive processes during moments of coming together, has this truly fostered growth, or has it inhibited the progress that you yearn for? Progress that arises not out of collective fear but from the truest response of the individual rather than that of a collective one. Looking back at history, have trauma and chaos been the norm, reinforced by systems of power swaying between positive and negative forces? What do the processes of ridding a system of these burdens look like in action without denying accountability? Can the cycle truly be escaped without acknowledging the long history of harm that has hindered both the collective and personal growth? Implementation and restriction. In managing outcomes, there is a likelihood for some form of regulation, potentially not to be confused with ultimate control, but rather as a means to restore balance for the long term. With such a landscape in mind, what forms of guidance and protection will be essential? Could some forms of regulation restore balance rather than impose control? Within a system that has long endured and proliferated hypocrisy, dehumanization and corruption, potentially benefiting those within the direct flow, what processes can be enacted to bring about exposure. If it's true that everyone, everything, and everywhere is recorded, then disclosure should serve as a purpose upon this revelation. While the ethics of recording all things can be debated, it also raises questions about technological capabilities and the far greater abilities of consciousness. Would it also be fair to say that such a process would require oversight by a construct of unmatched sophistication, with ethics far removed from what has been in place on Earth? This can be likened to George Orwell's 1984, which might have pointed to factual events of a long-standing system designed to facilitate the manipulation and control of Earth. With the revelations we face, it's crucial to stop, think, and process the facts, as well as question our own internal mechanisms. How do you see yourself contributing to the restoration of this balance? Utilizing the knowledge and advancements brought by disclosure may create both relief and resistance. The dismantling and replacing of current infrastructures across industries will inevitably create voids, sparking a range of emotions from resentment to acceptance. Yet this is a necessary step in aligning the transition with the collective good, including Earth's well-being. How do we ensure that discernment remains central throughout this process, guiding the interactions and transformations without oppressing those resistant to changes? Sifting the populace, evaluating readiness and roles. The need to evaluate those ready for advancement versus those who may not be is inevitable. What happens to those who, due to their actions or current state, must abstain from participating in the new systems until they align, if they choose to do so? Who will oversee this massive task of sorting, guiding, and protecting the process? Reflecting for a moment, if access to everyone, everything, everywhere, at all times had already been fully implemented, wouldn't this task of analysis be much easier and quicker? And to probe further, one must delve deeper into the concept of the all-seeing being, a force or intelligence that can observe without bias or restriction. In trying to get to the heart of the matter, this process will undoubtedly require a minimum threshold of time based upon Earth time to truly assess one's actions, behaviors, and decisions in contrast to their emotional essence and or spiritual heart. Thus it's fair to say time will tell who is ready for this transition and who is not. Moreover, there's the matter of roles, specifically the perception of guardians, monitors, the called, the anointed, angelic forces and their opposites, God and all gods, and the feminine, men in black and more. This naturally raises a profound question: what on earth has actually been going on? And based on all this, you might ask yourself, in which role do I stand, if you indeed have one? Transcending earthly boundaries, bridging galactic awareness with human evolution. As technology advances post-disclosure, how will those advancements shape both progress and adversity? For those ready to move forward and integrate within themselves what has been long hidden, the experience of shifting dimensions may unfold naturally. But can technology advancements act as a catalyst for growth for those with less knowledge and or understanding? It may be true that systems designed for growth will primarily benefit those open to these advancements, fostering knowledge and development as we expand beyond earthly boundaries. How will the concept of free will shape your decision to opt into an intergalactic society? And how might past actions influence your future roles? Are we, as a collective, prepared to dismantle the false pretenses of our inherited systems? Our understanding of space-time and dimensions has long been constrained, but this serves as a testament to our innate curiosity and desire to evolve. For those willing, not ready yet, or fearful, it is essential to allow them to find their own pace, space, and terms of engagement to ensure harmonious collective progress. If there was ever a time for free will, it is now. Providing individuals the opportunity to opt in or out of an intergalactic society empowers them to shape their own path. Needless to say, if there are choices to be made, there must be organizational governance. With that in mind, what might the landscape look like where old systems no longer function? When all is said and done, accountability for past actions remains central, and the role each individual has played on Earth will inevitably impact that process. Stepping into your own power, navigating positive versus negative forces of love and justice. As we contemplate the changes ahead, many will wonder what it truly means to step into your own power. This merely isn't about personal strength, it's about understanding your role within a larger system. It raises important questions about what defines positive and negative. In a world emerging anew, knowledge and new systems, in a society where these concepts have often been subjective, the old frameworks built around specific agendas may no longer apply. So what will the new processes align with? If a heart-based analysis becomes the central force for assessing and interacting with an intergalactic system, will there be any questioning of it? Will this shift invite skepticism? Will it be universally accepted? When it comes to justice or consequences for misconduct, your own history and the inner workings of your heart can and will act as your assessor. This judgment won't come from an external authority, but from within, based upon past actions and a heart-based analysis of your intentions. This shifts the traditional power dynamics. We no longer look to an external figure for validation or punishment. Instead, accountability is personalized, coming from deep within your own essence. Ultimately, that will be just the beginning. The real question is, how will you integrate with the unfolding changes? It's not simply about being aware of or receiving advanced technology. It's about embracing a new self-awareness and contributing to the collective transformation. Can you step into your own power with integrity and love while navigating balance between justice and mercy, positive and negative forces? In closing, as we approach disclosure, have you reflected on your role and responsibility within this unfolding process? The revelations ahead invite an intimate analysis of everyone, everywhere, and everything, prompting us to consider not only our place in the world, but also the potential for transformation. In pondering these possibilities, what thoughts come to mind? Have you truly considered the magnitude of such a revelation and the shifts it may bring? Will you embrace your own autonomy, and how will you contribute to shaping a world that aligns with the collective changes experienced by all as a result of disclosure? Thank you for joining me today on this journey. This is just the beginning. Keep reflecting, keep questioning, and stay curious. Until next time.